I want to segue right into WandaVision because it
For sure.
is completely different from my expectations. When I first heard WandaVision was going to be a show, I thought it was going to be this goofy, run-of-the-mill sitcom where, Wanda and Vision would just play off each other in different time frames, but it's a lot darker. It's, a lot more meaningful and serious. And when you watch the first 3 episodes, you're enjoying it for what I thought it was going to be, but then they hit you with episode 4, and it makes a whole new sense of reality and how things are going within the MCU, and you're excited to see what the hell is going to happen by the end of this series.
Oh, totally, dude. To be honest with you, and I may or may not have said this to you, but when Marvel had announced all these series they were going to have on Disney Plus, and when WandaVision was one of the series, I was like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I was just basically going off of the title. I knew nothing about it, and then when they were showing these clips.
And that cheesy 50s vibe they were given too. It's like, look, they're gonna be playful and fun and living this in this bubble of a lifestyle. When it's we know Vision's dead, so why they're bringing him back?
I didn't know what to expect, and that's the thing is I remember seeing the leaked images, not leaked images. I'm sorry, I think Marvel released them, and they were showing that 50s style television sitcom, and I was like, where are they going with this? And for some reason, initially looking at it, it didn't intrigue me. And then I thought about it. And I went, wait, Marvel, come on. They've proven they know what they're doing at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, why would I even doubt them? And what I'm looking at and what they're showing me just image-wise, I was there's got to be more to this. Well, why did they go this route? There's got to be a reason for this. And I'll tell you what, I'm so blown away by this television show.
Dude.
I think, and you know what, dude? I'll be honest with you. I think releasing it episode by episode, like they did with Mandalorian, is the way to go.
Oh yeah.
I prefer that because I have something to look forward to, and they always leave you wanting more at the end, and as opposed to just releasing all what's it going to be 9 episodes?
Yeah, 9.
At once and binging it. I feel like when you binge it, there's a lot of buzz and then it just kind of dies off. So I kind of dig this every week's a new episode.
I've been appreciating it more because, I am more of the Netflix, give it to me now. But
sure, we're spoiled.
But for the first time in a long time, I love how this is playing out. The suspense between every episode and just my utter confusion about what the hell, how is this going to end? You watched, just to reiterate, you watched the new episode 7, right?
Yeah, just watched it today, right before the cast.
Spoiler alert right here. I'm going right at it. So if you haven't watched the newest episode, which is episode 7, as we're talking about this, please pause, fast forward, and get past this. But, dude, Agatha Harkness, is it Harkness?
Yes.
Dude, the way they revealed her was epic, and how she was the mastermind behind all the bad things going on in Westview. And the thing that got me the most was that she made those children and they're not there. You gave this woman who's in disarray already because she lost the love of her life, that she brings his dead body back to life, and you bring her dead brother in and you create children for her that aren't real and she thinks they are. She's gonna snap. She is probably one of the most powerful beings in the MCU, and you just full-blown messed with her. You gave her twins and you took them the hell away.
Shit's not gonna go real well, I think, after this. But I wasn't familiar with the character, so I kind of did a little quick Google research, and I don't know if are you familiar with her at all?
I'm not.
In the MCU. So from what I read briefly, was that in the comics she was actually she's a witch, and she was a teacher of Wanda.
Okay.
And They were so a lot of people were speculating that Evan Peters was going to turn out to be like Mephisto or something like that, or Nightmare, and but then with having Agatha Harkness as the villain, I guess, so to speak, as well as far as we know right now,
Yeah.
after watching episode 7, it almost like a lot of people speculate, even though they're introducing her, that is like more inclination that Mephisto will be introduced at some point. I don't know the necessary ties with her, but I'll tell you what, the actress that plays Agnes or Agatha, I've loved, like she's a great comedic actor from like Step Brothers and Bad Moms.
Yep.
And comedic actors to me make some of the best dramatic actors.
They do.
And the casting choice, like yet again, it was just like so incredible. It was definitely like a huge like twist, I thought, because after that scene where during Halloween when she's like talking to Vision and she's like, you got to help us, like, am I dead? And he's like, well, why would you ask that? Because you're dead. And then to see that scene where like while Vision's like looking around, she like looks at the camera, kind of breaking the fourth wall sort of thing, and like, like this freaking guy over here. And I was like, wow, this is really, really great. I did not see this freaking happening at all. This is awesome. So yet again, the show ends and Laura and I are like, what? Like, that's it? Like, it just feels like it ends and you're just like, oh, you do it to me every time, Wandavision.
Did
but
you see
I'm glad they do.
Did you see the ending cutscene?
I did.
Yeah, between Monica and Pietro. First off, dude, Monica's story arc is fantastic. But with that being said, especially what we saw with her kind of gaining powers going through the barrier, is there going to be 2 Captain Marvels within the MCU?
Yeah, so Monica Rambeau eventually becomes a second Captain Marvel. She's had a few different names. I believe the most recent name she goes by is Spectrum. But the other names are like I want to say Proton, but that sounds weird.
Yeah.
Isn't that something from like biology or chemistry? I forget. But or like Proton or Pulsar she went by, but most recently she goes by Spectrum. So I don't know what name they're going to give her, if anything. But her story arc is fantastic. And I'll tell you what, after she had made her way through that portal or whatever portal, whatever you want to call it, that barrier, and to see her eyes glowing blue, got like the superhero juices in me going like, oh, here we go.
She shut off Wanda's powers too. She made that superhero landing and everything.
Oh, like that's the thing, man. It's so great. Like, it's so insane how like any superhero who does the superhero landing, I'm over here just like, like you could do it so many times and it'll never get old to me. I absolutely love it. So let's just say for me, this show was quite the surprise.
Yes.
Even though I shouldn't be surprised because Marvel they know what they're doing and they've proven that. I absolutely love this show.
Yes.
It's so wacky and out of the box. It's just so different. A lot of everything that you said, I don't want to repeat you, but the commercials that they play based off of what time period show they're doing
and how Wanda's feeling. Like, how about the one about like in episode 7 about the medicine and the depression? It was literally geared toward Wanda, and the feeling isolated from episode 6 with the shark. He's like, oh well, eat this yogurt, and the kid's sitting there trying to get the yogurt open, and it just becomes a skeleton because he's lonely and he has nothing going on. It's dark. Like, pieces are very dark in this, and you wouldn't have expected it. Like, the thing, like you said, you feel like you doubted Marvel, but you shouldn't have. But I feel like we had the right to, because they ended in such a high note, with Endgame, and we didn't really know where this was going. We knew about the multiverse of madness. We know Spider-Man 3 is going to have a bunch of different characters in it, but to start us really off with WandaVision and this TV series about them being in the 50s, and that's all we really saw in these different time periods, I didn't know what to expect. And I'm invested, dude. I'm waking up at like 6 a.m. like a time clock on Fridays, be like, oh, WandaVision, bam. And then I go back to sleep. It's weird. I don't wake up at 6, but every Friday I'm up at 6 o'clock like, oh, WandaVision's out. Let me go play it real quick. It's just, Paul Bettany, he's amazing Vision, and I hope there's more of him in the future, but I feel like his run will end with this series. I could be wrong. But he's so lively and funny, and it's interesting to see how he's going to move forward through the last 2 episodes. He was pushing through the barrier and trying to say, save these people. Like, he knows Wanda's in disarray and distress, and he wants to help these people. Meanwhile, he's dead. And if he goes through that barrier, does he just die? Like, does the life come out of him? Like, we don't know. And I'm so confused, and I want to know, and we got to wait 2 weeks to find out.
It's so... that was a really great thing to say. Endgame, it ended on such a high note, and then you're like, where the hell do you go from here? And at the time, what was next in line was Black Widow. And we were like, well, we knew Black Widow died in Endgame. So, and I know this Black Widow was taking place, between Civil War and Infinity War. And you were just kind of like, okay. So even though I was looking forward to Black Widow, I was still like, well, what about new stuff?
Yeah.
Like, what I want to know what happens after Endgame. And when I saw WandaVision was the first to come out, that's when I was like really confused. Like, but what? And man, they just, I don't know. It just it's got this like shows like Umbrella Academy and The Boys. These really crazy, out of the box, just like bizarre. Like just different type of superhero shows, I was really loving because they were so different. And then when watching WandaVision, I'm like, maybe that's kind of why I like this. It's so out of the box and so different. It just changes the whole game of superhero movies, television, what have you.
It does.
So
because
that's why
you can play to these themes, and they do so well as they've been picking apart the most popular TV shows in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Now, like the past episode, they had like an office intro. They were doing Modern Family style interviews with characters in between, and it's so brilliantly done. And no superhero show's been made like this before. So for them to be able to come in and say, we're gonna hit TV shows, and you guys don't think we do TV shows well. Well, why don't you watch WandaVision and find out? And they freaking nailed it. I mean, it even like, I know this, it sounds so like it's common sense, but even the name of the show, WandaVision. So of course you have the two characters, Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and Vision, but then you have it WandaVision, and literally this is all happening in a way due to what Wanda wants. Yeah, it's amazing how
it's just so brilliant.
It's amazing how the people outside the barrier, like Sword, they're watching this series as WandaVision. Like, they're watching with us as this goes on.
It's so cool.
And they're trying to like figure out how to stop this. And, she's actually creating these TV shows and moving through time with this. It's just everything through like the visual elements and how it's edited and how creative it is. It's a masterpiece. It really is. It exceeded my expectations 1,000 times over, because when I first saw WandaVision, I'm like, this will probably be okay. I'll give it a shot, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So just to nerd out and have some fun and just like speculation, I love doing this. I have an idea of what I want to see happen, how I want the series to end. Do you kind of have something in your mind?
No, I don't know. So I can't really picture. I don't want to speculate either. I want to enjoy what happens, and hopefully it ends well. Hopefully they do it right, and I believe they will. They've done the whole series right. I honestly don't know where they're going, and I can't picture what I would want them, where I want them to go.
So I was kind of. Do you want to hear what I am speculating, or what I would love to see, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So I was really digging, Wanda being portrayed almost as the villain.
Yeah.
I was really into that whole thing.
I was too.
And now with Agatha, I'm kind of conflicted. But with that being said, now that Agatha is introduced as, she's really all these negative things that are happening, she's behind it all. I really, really want to see Doctor Strange come in, and like Doctor Strange has been hunting Agatha, or has been warned of Agatha, and him somehow coming in, and that's how it leads into the multiverse of madness, where he's been after Agatha. He now like somehow rescues and saves Wanda from what she's doing.
Yeah.
I really like that. I would lose
be
my
sick.
mind.
That would be cool.
If that would happen. Yeah, I think that'd be really, really cool. I don't know. I keep hearing different things. I've heard Doctor Strange was a rumor, and then I was hearing other characters.
I heard one thing. I heard was that the leader of S.W.O.R.D., I forget his name, but apparently people are saying that he's Ultron or in human form, and that's why he wants Vision's body so bad, so he can take back the body that he believes is his. I don't think that's gonna happen. I feel like that's far out there, but that would be freaking wild.
You know what? I really enjoyed Ultron.
Oh, so did I. Especially hearing James Spader's voice. I loved it.
Yeah, James Spader's voice definitely made that character for sure. And I thought that he could be a really threatening character. And I just feel as if in Age of Ultron we didn't get to the extent of what someone like Ultron could really do.
Yeah.
Like, to me, like Ultron as a threat to me was the closest thing to realism, I guess, for a comic book movie. Just the threat of technology and what that could do.
Yeah.
Like, scares the shit out of me. So I feel like with Ultron, we didn't get to like what we could have gotten to, and the way that his story ended at the end of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That would be cool, just because I'm a fan of the character. But like you, I don't know if they. To me, I kind of feel like Ultron is gone. Like, they've done it and they're moving on from that. But I don't know, man. I just I really enjoy the show. And for people who are not watching it, which I don't know if there's anybody not watching, I think it's like the #1 show in the freaking world or something. It's just I can't wait. I cannot wait. And now I'm super excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Dude, the trailers they've been shown for that, man.
And here's the thing, dude. I wasn't a fan of the first trailer. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you didn't.
I didn't like it. And I didn't like it because the jokes and the humor to me, for some reason when I watched it, felt hokey and forced. And I was like, what are they doing here? It just doesn't seem natural. Yeah. And then they showed that trailer, I think was maybe for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And instantly, I was like,
sick.
Okay, totally changed my mind. and now I can't wait. I don't know if Marvel heard me. They're like, guys, we got to switch this shit up.
we gotta pull out the big guns.
Yeah, that random kid in Pennsylvania. He's not digging it, guys.
He's gonna review us bad on Heroes and Brews,
the
#1 rated podcast in the United States for beer and nerdy culture.
So world, you're welcome for the better Falcon Winter Soldier trailer. And I'll tell you what, I'm super stoked that Baron Zemo is gonna have a purple mask.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? I'm like, it's so in the comics he looks so goofy, but at the same time in Civil War I was like, I kind of wanted him to have a mask on.
Yeah.
And now they're giving him that purple mask, but it works for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm super excited.